We hate fossil fuels because they're literally threatening all life on Earth. But not as much attention is given to all the people or corporations enabling them to reach this point. I'm going to share some info with you all today to maybe help you learn another leverage point in systems change, or at least understand a bit more about why we're in this mess today. We are going to talk about insurance companies. My name is Isaias Hernandez, and I'm the founder of Queer Brown Vegan, a platform creating intersectional environmental education for everyone. Follow me on Instagram or here or on YouTube, and be sure to like, leave a comment, or subscribe if these sort of things interest you. So why are we talking about insurance companies? For starters, more and more insurance companies are beginning to end their policies in places with a risk of climate disasters. Pretty soon, this could have implications for us all. This matters a lot because the reason insurance companies exist is to protect us from risk. Also because of slavery, but we're going to come back to that later. So insurance companies are protecting their bottom lines by withdrawing coverage even though they're supposed to be protecting us. Now, that's an issue on its own, but wait, there's more. Insurance is required for any construction project, including fossil fuel development. So many of these companies that are stopping protections for the everyday people vulnerable to climate disasters like wildfires or storms are still insuring and investing in the fossil fuel projects that are driving this crisis. And that's because insurance actually gave their first warnings about climate change in the 1970s. This is proof that the insurance knew that these risks were coming, but we probably didn't hear much about this because the industry is so entangled in the fossil fuel industry. Not only does fossil fuel development require insurance in order to move forward, insurance giants also invest billions into fossil fuels. Insurance companies are completely self-interested. They put their bottom line by pulling their coverage for climate vulnerable areas so they don't have to pay out when the climate disasters strike. But these same insurance companies are a major part of the reason these areas are so vulnerable to climate change in the first place. In 2019 alone, the US insurance industry held investments of $582 billion in oil, gas, utilities, and other fossil fuel related companies and activities according to an S&P Global report. Now, climate impacts are projected to put 39 million homes at risk of losing insurance, and this hypocrisy is staggering. Insurance companies have been playing every part of this game. They've been underwritten, financing fossil fuels from the impact of those fossil fuels on climate, and now when climate risks are rising, they are trying to hang American families out dry here and demanding higher premium or get out of the market altogether. The issue has deep roots going back to colonization, and most people don't know that insurance policies in the industry is closely connected with white supremacy. And I'm not being dramatic here. Slave insurance, for example, was used as a form of industrial risk management, and these policies are still out there, and at least 1,300 pre-Civil War slave policies are found in the archives of the world's largest insurance companies, including Aetna, AIG, and New York Life. Through their historic and current actions, some insurance companies uphold a belief that certain people, primarily men in the global north, have the right to do business in a way that renders nature and the human lives disposable. Without this inherent devaluing of others, they wouldn't have insured enslaved people and slave ships and wouldn't be able to continue to insure pipelines through indigenous territories today. To give you all an example, let's look at Liberty Mutual, which you've seen ads of Liberty Mutual, which is so dumb. As a Fortune 500 company, they have tremendous influence. They've unfortunately failed to use this influence for good and instead have doubled down on fossil fuels. They are a top fossil fuel insurer internationally and have ignored demands from policyholders and very people they claim to represent in favor for profit different fossil fuel interests. Their most recent annual meeting, which was under 6 minutes, refused public comments, ignored questions about Liberty's continued support for destructive fossil fuel projects like the Trans Mountain Valley pipeline and offshore drilling in Brazil, and they refused to roll out ensuring oil and gas extraction in the Arctic refuge. In order to prevent catastrophic climate disasters, global emission levels must decrease. However, the only way to achieve fossil fuel production and accelerating a new transition to renewable energy is insurance companies are getting in the way of this when they could guide that change and say no more to fossil fuel development. Insurance companies like Liberty Mutual are implicated in the methane gas projects on the Gulf Coast and US coal mines, Congo oil fields, and more, simultaneously increase risk of wildfires because of fossil fuel projects that they've been insuring, and are a primary reason they recently stopped insuring business owners in California. Every day, businesses in California are being impacted while Liberty Mutual profits billions from fossil fuels. Liberty Mutual also represents a perfect snapshot of why changes have failed to occur at large scale. From their actions to their company structures, they are filled with corruption and conflicts in the entrance. And there are 13 people on Liberty Mutual's board, and 6 of those 13 also serve on the boards of fossil fuel companies. It's pretty easy to understand why they are more interested in profits from fossil fuels, even though that means increased risk for policyholders and inability for them to insure homeowners and other businesses. You'd think someone would say something about this, right? As of now, they would prefer to insure disastrous industries and projects and leave people to fend for themselves, which is extremely disappointing because we do need an insured future. So what can we do about this? For starters, you watch this video, so you're off to a great start. Insurance companies like Liberty Mutual are well placed to accelerate and scale a just transition away from fossil fuels, but they won't do it on their own. It takes pressure from people like us to expose their greenwashing, hypocrisy, and ties to the fossil fuel industries. Groups like Insure Our Future are a global network working hard to hold the insurance industry accountable for the role of the climate crisis. Check them out and join them online. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I would love to know, what are your thoughts on the insurance industries? Do you think that it will be able to be changed, or do you think we should continue pressuring them until we are able to create a new industry beyond insurance?